Hi friends, it's Miss Kate. My story this week is Corduroy by Don Freeman, and this was one of my favorite books when I was a little girl. In fact, I shared it with our Tuesday Zoom group for book club. And one of the reasons that I loved it was its message of kindness and love and acceptance. And some of you may have read it before, but for those of you who have not, Corduroy is a stuffed teddy bear, and there's something about Corduroy that makes him different. He lives at a department store, and I'll give you a clue. He's missing a button on his overalls. And so sometimes the things that make us different are the things that make us special. All right, let's get going here. Corduroy is a bear who once lived in the toy department of a big store. Day after day, he waited with all the other animals and dolls for somebody to come along and take him home. So there he is in the store with the rest of his stuffed animal pals. The store was always filled with shoppers buying all sorts of things, but no one ever seemed to want a small bear in green overalls. Then, one morning, a little girl stopped and looked straight into Corduroy's bright eyes. "Oh, Mommy," she said, "look, there's the very bear I've always wanted." "Not today, dear," her mother sighed. "I've spent too much already. Besides, he doesn't look new. He's lost the button to one of his shoulder straps." So if you look closely, you'll notice that one of his straps is broken because the button is missing. So it has nothing to fasten onto. Corduroy watched them sadly as they walked away. "I didn't know I'd lost a button," he said to himself. "Tonight I'll go and see if I can find it." Late that evening, when all the shoppers had gone and the doors were shut and locked, Corduroy climbed carefully down from a shelf and began searching everywhere on the floor for his lost button. So when I was little, I used to love these pictures and imagining what it would be like to have an entire department store all to myself. Pretty cool. Suddenly, he felt the floor moving under him. Quite by accident, he had stepped onto an escalator, and up he went. Any of you been on an escalator before? Could this be a mountain, he wondered? I think I've always wanted to climb a mountain. Is he on a mountain? Nope, moving stairs. He stepped off the escalator as it reached the next floor, and there, before his eyes, was a most amazing sight. Tables and chairs and lamps and sofas and rows of beds. "This must be a palace," Corduroy gasped. "I guess I've always wanted to live in a palace." So Corduroy got off on the floor where they sell beds and furniture, and he thinks it's an enormous palace. So there's something very magical about this. He wandered around admiring the furniture. "This must be a bed," he said. "I've always wanted to sleep in a bed." And up he crawled onto a large, thick mattress. All at once, he saw something small and round. What do you think he saw? "Why, here's my button," he cried, and he tried to pick it up. But like all the other buttons on the mattress, it was tied down tight. So the buttons on the mattress are actually sewn on. So if you can see closely, you'll see the white thread that's connecting the button to the mattress, which is giving Corduroy kind of a tough time there. He yanked and pulled with both paws until pop! Off came the button, and off the mattress Corduroy toppled. Uh-oh, looks like that lamp is going down with him. Bang! Into a tall floor lamp. Over it fell with a crash. Yep, see, he has his paws over his ears because that had to have been a really loud sound, right? Corduroy didn't know it, but there was someone else awake in the store. The night watchman was going his rounds on the floor above. When he heard the crash, he came dashing down the escalator. "Now, who in the world did that?" he exclaimed. "Somebody must be hiding around here." So the night watchman, his job is to be in the store in the evening when no one else is there to make sure that no monkey business is going on. He flashed his light under and over sofas and beds until he came to the biggest bed of all. And there he saw 2 fuzzy brown ears sticking up from under the cover. Do you see the 2 fuzzy brown ears? "Hello," he said. "How did you get upstairs?" The watchman tucked Corduroy under his arm and carried him down the escalator and set him on the shelf in the toy department with the other animals and dolls. So he's back with his crew, back on the shelf. Corduroy was just waking up when the first customers came into the store in the morning. And there, looking at him with a wide, warm smile, was the same little girl he'd seen only the day before. She came back. "I'm Lisa," she said, "and you're going to be my very own bear. Last night I counted what I'd saved in my piggy bank, and my mother said I could bring you home." So she saved up her very own money to buy Corduroy. "Shall I put him in a box for you?" the sales lady asked. "Oh, no, thank you," Lisa answered, and she carried Corduroy home in her arms. She ran all the way up 4 flights of stairs into her family's apartment and straight to her own room. Corduroy has a new home. Corduroy blinked. There was a chair and a chest of drawers, and alongside a girl-sized bed stood a little bed just the right size for him. The room was small, nothing like that enormous palace in the department store. "This must be home," he said. "I know I've always wanted a home." So there's Lisa's bed, and then there's Corduroy's bed right next to it. Teeny tiny bed for him to sleep on. Lisa sat down with Corduroy on her lap and began to sew a button on his overalls. "I like the way you are," she said, "but you'll be more comfortable with your shoulder strap fastened." So she's putting that button back on his overalls. So now he'll have 2 straps holding them up. "You must be a friend," said Corduroy. "I've always wanted a friend." "Me too," said Lisa, and gave him a big hug. The end. So I hope you guys enjoyed Corduroy, and I wish that I could give all of you giant bear hugs because I miss our Pinkney Placers, but I've enjoyed seeing your faces on Zoom, and I will see all of you tomorrow. All right, bye guys.